praying to receive things from God is not as important as being like. Now, the idea of being like God is to receive ability to function for God. Instead of asking God to do for you things you should do for yourself after you are like him. God will always want people to look like him so that they can function for him. And God is more comfortable than those of us who are looking for him, who look like him, than those who are not like him, but they're asking him for things. The trust will not be high. Why God allowed John the Baptist to die, beheaded by a wicked Herod, is because John didn't look like God. He was a servant of God. He didn't care about looking like God. He was praying to God. He was working for God. So when challenge of preserving his life came, God couldn't identify with John's life. Because the life of John was not like the life of God. So God couldn't stay with John. But he was using John. I said God couldn't stay with John. But he was using John. There are people, their life only ends in using. Now when problem comes, God will not be around. Because he comes to them when he wants to use them and goes away after using them. Now, let me tell you the mentality that Jesus had, that all the big men of the earth has. All the big men of the earth has this mentality of taking responsibility for themselves instead of expecting a spirit to do something for them. In that, they discover the quality that the spirit must use. What I said they will discover. So they discover the quality and do something about it so that they can be the channel instead of begging. Yes. So they own banks. They own multinational companies. Moses became a god. In 3 of Exodus, God said, I will go in you. Because Moses now look like God. That is why up till now we don't know where his grave is. Because if you are like God, you cannot die because God can't die. But those who are not like God, who are working for God, will definitely die. Because when death comes, God will not be around. God is only around them when he wants to use them. Church, is it great? Do you know why a lot of praying ministry, prophetic, some of these healing ministry, do you know why their ministers die? Live carelessly and die? Do you know why? They are interested in using. So the devil punishes them. And when the devil wants to hurt them, God will not be around. Don't think that John didn't pray against dying. The prayer couldn't save John. There are things prayer cannot save when the nature cannot keep God. It can't save. At this time this precarious time we are now, prayer is not enough now. God praying to God and God abandoning us and going to heaven, so that when problem comes, he will not be around. Can I tell you something? Somebody should give another seed. Moge Shukururu Yenile Gadema Moge Shukururu Yenile. Somebody say, get you go there. I'll get you go. This is something that you don't know. A praying church is not a winning church. A praying church is not a winning church. A winning church is a church that can keep God on earth. What is said in 21, 3 and 4 of the book of Revelation, that the tabernacle of God is with us, and then sorrow and pain and death ends. The tabernacle. Do you know why you should not trust prayer too much? You know I do praying only, so don't think I'm talking down on prayer. I have watched prayer and those who pray. Listen, you can call God because God is busy. He doesn't answer you all the time. Because you are not the only person calling him. He comes to you in rotation. What I say he does? What I say he does? God goes to men in rotation. That is, he comes to you when it is your turn. Because you're not the only person calling him. He has other duties. No, God has other duties. So he comes to you when it is your turn for him to answer you. He takes turn and come to you. Just like you're a man, you have a wife, and you're in a boardroom, and your wife call has come 3 times. You must excuse out. Excuse me, there is no meeting. You have to leave that meeting. I said, why in that meeting? It's your wife's phone. Your wife has called you desperate call, they call him 3 times. And you are in a meeting, you have to go out. If you like, be the one chairing it. You see, because the girl calling you is not 2 in your life. No, that girl is not 2 in your life. And she's superior to that meeting. So it's not the calling like prayer, it's who is calling. So I prefer to be who instead of calling. I prefer to be the person attention should be given to. Don't forget that. There are some times when I come into throne, when I have so much burden, and I will come into throne in General Assembly, meeting will stop. I'm not losing it. That's not prayer. General Assembly like this. The pastors are lying to us. They are trying to replace nature with what we can do. Why I ask you to give seed is because change your priority now. This meeting is about to end. Change your priority. Change your priority to I said change your priority to looking like instead of calling. So stay with God's word to get God into your life through his word. If you get him to be with you permanently, even your thoughts can be answered. At that time, you don't shout anymore. You think. No, you can't shout now. You can't shout when you're looking like God. You just start thinking. And he answers, just like Ephesians chapter 3:20, he answers your thought. Now, we have prayed so much and got little result. I said we have prayed and got little result because God didn't really pay attention. He has other duties. Yes. But he doesn't get busy. He doesn't go out of those who look like him. He is permanently resident. So, whether they pray or not, he lives through them. Think, he relates with their thought. Praying is going far because they are already like him. So I said here, Kennedy, write it. I don't know whether you have it. The greatest achievement on earth. Write it down. Please pay attention to me and give me some time. I am so delighted. Today is one of my best days on earth. Please hear this. The greatest achievement on earth is to look like God. Those who look like God are always one with God. Do you write down your paper? I said the greatest achievement on earth is to look like God. I and my Father are one. There is no greater value. No. Anybody who have seen me have seen my Father. No greater value. He walk upon the water. He will conquer death because he is already looking like God. Only a man that looks like God can come out of the grave. It's not a function of prayer. Only a man that looks like God can walk upon the waters. Only a man that looks like God can multiply fishes and bread. He's looking like. That is the greatest achievement. Please let me ask you to look like. You don't pray for God to show you what is in his mind when you already